Hey, everybody.
What is happening?
Welcome back. Episode 4.
We are back.
We are here for episode 4. And PB Gauch is here.
I am here. I'm back from my long hiatus.
Which was nothing, basically.
No, like 2 weeks, really, but because I had a kid. So,
He did. A little baby.
Little baby boy.
Little baby.
He's a baby.
A little baby.
And he cries a lot.
Well, babies do that.
Yeah, they do cry a lot. Yeah, it's been nice. It's been nice being home from work and just chilling at home with the family, and hanging with him, feeding him, watch my daughter, like, love on him.
Mhm.
Like it's her own child. Like she gets mad when she can't hold him. When somebody else wants to hold him, she gets mad. Like, I want to hold him. Like, he's not going anywhere, okay? And she's finally kind of like grasped that. Like, he's not going anywhere. He'll be here. Like, he's not gonna go anywhere. He can't fucking walk. He can't crawl, bro. Like, he ain't going anywhere.
Fucking just walk straight out of there.
He'll be here. She always tells him goodbye and gives him hugs and kisses when she goes to bed or when she leaves for school.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's adorable.
Well, big shout out to your family for letting you come and fucking record. Don't even.
I'm sorry, my wife does. But yeah.
But for real, yeah, I'm glad that everything's good and everyone's healthy and that you're able to come out here and record for a couple hours, and yeah, that's about it.
And then be back to work on Sunday. Yay.
Yes.
Work, yay.
I can't wait.
I can wait.
Well,
I can wait forever, really.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for you to come back. So, I obviously do not have any kids.
Thank fuck for that.
Probably.
Pray for her not to have kids.
Pray
she
for
will
the
not
world.
do well.
For me to not have kids.
She does not need any right now. Her second.
I don't. I'm not in the process of that. It's all good. I am not trying.
Sometimes like, you don't have to be trying. It just happens. You're just like, well, spit.
Yeah, but I am definitely.
I wasn't trying either, but here we are with 2 kids later, and I'm trying.
Yeah, well, I'm actively trying to not have any kids yet. I am not prepared for that. I still have school.
I mean, I'll let you know, but you'll never be prepared.
Yeah.
No one's like, oh, read this book, read that book. There's never really a way to prepare for having children. It's so even mentally, like, oh yeah, I'll do this, and there's just nothing like it having a child. So it just your whole schedule just changes. Did you
read any books before you had your first?
Not really. No, I mean, we had a book, but I mean, my wife took care of like kids before, like younger kids, like her friends' kids she had, and like her mom was a nurse, so a lot of that helped. And there was a few books we read, but I don't really gain anything from it. Like more of what to expect after birth, but nothing like into the future of children.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say because like I'm not gonna lie, like if I ever have kids, I have zero intentions of reading a fucking book about it. Like,
don't.
And so I was gonna say.
Now come to me if you have kids.
Does that make you like a shitty parent if you're gonna be like, fuck that, I'm not gonna read a book, I'm not gonna like try and take advice that these books are giving me? Or do you think that's fair?
I mean, I guess you could take advice if you're really nervous about having a kid, you never like experienced children before, like you've never been around kids like me. But I mean, my wife has, so I was pretty comfortable with what she knew.
Right.
How to take care of children. But if neither of us knew anything about kids, I probably would have read more.
Yeah, that's
just to see what's going on, and it can prepare you, quotation marks, but like it's
still nothing like the real thing.
Yeah, it's like reading a book how to go to war, then you get an award. It's just like 2 different things. Like,
well, you've never been in a war. So.
Well, no, I have, but I'm sure like
so
sure wars
I understand your point, but also it's still not a good point.
I'm at a war, man, on drugs.
War on drugs.
And hookers.
No.
Hookers on drugs. It's my war against
the war of hookers on drugs.
Yeah, it's ongoing. It's hard because they just do blow, and then they go blow.
I thought you were talking about your kids.
Fucking hookers. Please excuse her.
I'm sorry. You're the one who changed the subject so quickly.
You know, I brought up the war, me not being in one. You're right. Go on. But yeah, having kids is just this. Nothing like it. Having a second one isn't super different from having just one. I mean, because my day's pretty wrapped up with her anyway.
Well, and it seems like she wants to be really involved too. So it seems
she wants
like
to watch really.
Well, my point was that you're not trying to juggle 2 kids doing 2 different things at one time. If she's all over him, then you're still really kind of dealing with one situation at a time, rather than her running amok and then him crying.
Right.
2 separate situations. You're still kind of dealing only with one, since she wants to be so active in everything he's doing and whatnot. Seems. I mean, obviously, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's good because like the age difference is good. Like she's 5, almost turning 6. So
Mhm.
like it'd be different if we had like a 2-year-old and then we had a new baby. Like you're juggling a toddler and a baby, and that's
Right. Yeah.
like a buddy of mine just had his kid, but my buddy has a 2-year-old son and just had a baby boy like a few days before my son was born. And I don't know how you juggle that. Like toddler is just a fucking much of a mess as a baby. They can just
it's just
walk.
a different kind of mess.
Walk.
Yeah, it's a walking mess. A walking disaster.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for them to deal with that. I think, especially when he goes back to work and she's at home with 2 kids.
Yeah,
and both boys.
Tough.
I want to say the boys are more like rambunctious and rowdy, but I mean, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it is. Like I always thought it would be nice to like have kids close in age, because then you're just like, well, you get through all the young years kind of quickly.
Yeah, and then you're done.
And then you're done. But then at the same time,
it's harder that way.
It's harder to deal with it in the moment. Like my family, my sister is 9.5 years older than me, and then my brother is 6 years older than me. So by the time I was born, they were kind of old enough to help take care of me.
Yeah.
And they weren't so, I mean, my brother was still pretty rambunctious, but not, a 3-year-old kind of rambunctious. So it's good, but also at the same time, like 10 years apart from your youngest and your oldest is still a big
gap.
jump. Like we're still pretty close, but at the same time, that's a really big gap. So I don't know.
Well, I guess that gap kind of closes when you get older, because then you're both adults and.
Right. I mean, we're still in different points of our lives. I mean,
yeah, you are.
She's been married for 6 years now, I think, and she's got a 14-year-old daughter and stepdaughter, but either way. And I'm, just now still finishing college, not getting married yet, not, you know what I mean? So we're still in 2 very different points of our lives, but we are still adults and we have a lot of things in common, but
yeah,
either way. But I guess I feel like where you're at with like the 5-year difference, I feel like is a good.
It's nice.
It's a good
like
range.
5.5 more or less.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the time he's her age, she'll be 11, turning 11. So she'll be in early middle school.
That also kind of gives you some time. We're like 5 years apart. Like I just think about she turned 16. You're gonna like.
I'm an 11-year-old.
Buy her a car. A couple years later. Well,
she's gonna bike. Having a fucking she didn't take that 210.
My point was, it kind of gives you a gap in like you still have another 5 years where you have to worry about him getting his license and then having to finance a car, and you know what I mean.
Gone by then.
Like,
by the time he's at she'll be gone. I hope.
Right.
I hope she's not my fucking house. Like I love you, but you need to get out.
The day she turns 18, you're like, fucking see ya.
Yeah, well, I think probably being parents would be just enough of a dick to your kids don't want to be there anymore, so you get the fuck out.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they're like, okay, we're cool because I'm in my own place. I don't got to worry about.
Yeah, I think I'm
living
pretty.
at home.
I'm pretty.
I couldn't stand that, dude. My wife was talking about the other day, living at home still. I was like, I could not do it.
There's no way. I could not move. Like, I moved out when I was 17. I could not go back to my parents' house. There's no fucking way. And I've just I've been on my own for 9 years now. I couldn't do it. There's no fucking way I could move back into my parents' house and my mom would be like, I expect you to text me if you're not going to be home by 8 p.m.
Right,
or whatever.
that,
dude, text me. Let me
rules.
know when you're out. What are you doing? Like, God, it would drive me fucking crazy. How you doing on your money? Like, my parents do that now. Like, I haven't lived there for 9 fucking years. And my dad, every time he sees me, like, you need gas money? No, Dad, I don't need fucking gas money. I'm fine.
I'll take free money.
I appreciate it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I'm fine. And if I need help, I'll come to you guys when I need help.
Right.
I don't know. It drives me crazy. I know it shouldn't drive me crazy, but because some people don't have that at all.
It's hard to go back from living you're in your own house under your own rules, and then go back to somebody who makes the rules for you. And this is my house, and you gotta do what I say.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
Or don't live here.
There's no way. Couldn't do it. Fuck that.
No,
I will live in a goddamn cardboard box forever. I'll live in a van down by the river.
Yeah, kids.
Do you like being a dad?
It's not bad. I mean, I guess I do. It's not like I ever dreamed of being one, but it didn't happen. Then.
So this is something interesting. Like, I don't feel like a lot of girls, I feel like, grow up just dreaming about how, I'm going to be a mom one day and this is what I'm going to do. And they just were you like that as a guy? 'Cause I've heard some guys say like, all I ever wanted to do was be a dad. Like, but not as often as I hear girls say, all I wanted was to be a mom.
It's more of like a instinctive thing.
Yeah.
To an extent, because you
like the nurturing kind of thing.
Because you grow in your belly, and that's a whole different set of hormones and shit to deal with, and get that attachment to it.
Right.
But I mean, I think so. Girls kind of have that, just like girls getting married. Girls probably dream about getting married more than men do.
Yeah, but you know what? I never really I always dreamed about being a mom one day, but I never had that like dream wedding. Like you always hear girls, that my dream wedding.
Yeah,
that's what
like 9 years old in their diary.
This is what I've dreamt about my whole life. Like I never had that. But I did always dream about being a mom. Mm-hmm. But as I get older, it's harder and harder for me to envision it. Like not being a mom, but literally just like physically, like we've talked about this before, like physically having a child and like being pregnant is so...
It's bizarre.
It is fucking bizarre. That's the perfect word. I'm 26 years old now, and I have such a hard time envisioning myself pregnant and carrying a child and just like with a big fucking belly and just like I don't.
Oh, you're gonna hate it.
I don't know.
You have a kid.
I don't know that I want to do it. I don't know.
Adopt, dude.
I want to adopt so bad. That's what I really want to do. I really want to adopt.
That's a racket too, because that costs money too.
I know.
Like,
I fucking know.
It's 40 grand for a kid.
It is so fucking ridiculous. This is one of these things that's going to fucking set me off. Here we go, everybody. I fucking hate it. I cannot fucking believe that it costs so much money to adopt a child that doesn't have a fucking home and doesn't have a family. Why? Why does it cost money to do this? When you are literally offering to fucking take in this child that's not yours, you have no emotional or physical attachment to this fucking child, and it costs you money to do it. That is the biggest fucking scam in the world.
It is a scam because it's all about getting money. It's all about how much money they get to take care of these kids. And people do it too. People want kids, so they go adopt. Plus, it could be easier if you're not ready for let's say, like a baby. Someone a little older, like 2 or 3, so you're kind of past those years.
But the thing is that most people who adopt want babies.
Yeah, well,
and
crazy.
That's why the babies they're harder to get. That's why all these, older kids age out of these houses, and then they don't have anywhere to fucking go, and these kids live on the street and then have horrible fucking lives after they've already lived their entire fucking life in a fucking orphanage. Mm-hmm. Like that's sad. Instead of just don't fucking charge.
Yeah, exactly.
And then these kids can have homes, and then more people will probably take in these older kids. Mm-hmm. It's so frustrating to me. I don't understand it. And I get that some of that money probably goes towards housing and feeding the other kids, but how much other stupid shit are we spending money on as a country or whatever? And instead of fucking putting money towards these homeless children, and we wouldn't have as many that we would have to fucking house and feed if they would just not charge and people could fucking adopt kids for free.
Right.
I will never understand why it costs to try and give a kid a good fucking life. I'll never get it.
Just like I read today about that, did you hear about the story about the little boy getting killed in Middletown?
No, I don't think so.
His mother and her boyfriend, typical stereotypical like shitty parents. The mom was like in her 20s or like late 20s or 30s, and their boyfriend's like 15 years older than her. And
I rolled there. You couldn't see it. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's typical like, she wants kids. And she had like 3 kids. And they're all like, one was like 6 years old, and the other 2 are like in 2nd grade. So she decided she was going to just drop them off at the park and leave them. Well, I guess with the one kid out, and he got out, they started to pull away. So she tried to get back in the car. Instead of stopping, she drug his ass through the parking lot.
With the car?
Yeah, with the car. Drug him with the car, and then she left. Came back like an hour later, and he wasn't in the parking lot dead. So then they put him in the car and drove home, put him in a room, and then the next day they threw him in the river, and then claimed that he went missing.
Oh my fucking God.
So now they found out, I think it was today or yesterday, they found out, like, they killed him and stuff like that, and they got the other 2 kids out of the house, put them in the foster care. Just like, if you can't handle kids, just go give them. Like I said, go
leave them at a fucking fire station.
Yeah, that's what I said. You know, if I said go to the fire station, I can't care for these guys anymore. I can't. I'm sorry, but it's probably the piece of shit boyfriend. Like, I don't
want kids. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what always. I listen to a lot of fucking true crime shit, and I watch a lot of true crime shit, and it is absolutely amazing how
mothers let these guys treat.
Well, it's either that or it's like the whole like family annihilator thing where like that is when like one like the parent or someone else like kills the entire rest of the family.
Right.
So it'd be like Chris Watts the last couple of years, and he's the one who killed his pregnant wife and their 2 babies. Mm-hmm. And because he had a girlfriend and he wanted to start a new life. And it's just like the people who do this shit, it's like they want to start a new life and they can't just like divorce someone or leave and just fucking disappear and go run off to fucking Mexico with your new girlfriend, whatever. Like you have to fucking kill everybody.
Right, like
I will never get that.
It's a bit over dramatic.
But it's absolutely insane how many people will do the whole like, oh, well, I don't want kids anymore. My new boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't want kids, so I'll just fucking kill them and just move on with my life. Like you're
gonna get away with it too.
Just drop them off with a family member. Drop them off with someone. Drop them off with a goddamn stranger. It's still better than them being dead, and the stranger might not even be a good person.
A ton of my cousins.
But Really?
Yeah, my Aunt Liz has like a few kids. One day her oldest came over with her 2 kids, who were at the time like 3 and 8, if that age. She dropped off to watch her one day, and then she left
never
to work
came
and never came back. And they talk now, but like they still live with my aunt. They're 9 and 14. Her mom just dropped them off, and she might be pregnant again.
But at least she did that. At least she didn't kill him.
Yeah.
And at least she left him with a family member. I mean, there are other options. I will never get why people just think that it's okay to just like.
Shitty, there's people out there that can't have kids, who want kids and can't get them. But then you hear people killing their own kids because they don't want them anymore.
Exactly.
I'm like, I just don't understand how you could, like, I can imagine dropping my daughter off, be like, hey, bye, see ya. The plan was to drop them off at a fucking park. Like, hey, bye, see ya, we'll be back, and never come back. Like, that's bad too.
That's awful.
But yeah, like that's
especially in the middle of the fucking winter.
And of course, the school released like a statement like, "Oh, he was such a nice kid. And I was like, always like a bright star and always smart and always loved this." I'm like, I'm tearing up.
Dude, you think that's bad? You should fucking watch the that documentary, like the Trials of Gabriel Fernandez.
I saw that. I never watched
Holy shit! If you want to fucking cry, you should watch it.
I cry like a bitch all the time. So.
Dude, I cried
every time I have kids. I'm like,
a crier.
Every time I have something to do with kids, I'm like, tear, jerking tear. I watch Star Wars today. I start tearing up watching Anakin leave his mom. I'm like, he's gonna kill everybody.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you should probably know who that is by now. It's been a long time coming. Don't watch Star Wars, watch it. But yeah, it's I don't know. Was it Gabriel the Fernandez thing? It sounds familiar. Didn't they also kill him in like the attic or something? Or
it was the mom and her boyfriend.
Of course.
And
always the boyfriend.
It's always the fucking boyfriend. It's like I don't even know, but they just like severely abused him, like nonstop. And the problem is that like there were people who cared, and there were people who reported it. That's
and like do that.
Child services would come out, and then they would like believe the mom and the boyfriend that everything was okay, and they wouldn't like come inside the house and see where they were fucking storing him in a fucking cabinet at night, like locking him inside this fucking cabinet.
Why have a kid then, dude?
I don't know.
Why even have a kid?
And it was just him too. Like there were other kids. They had other kids, and they only beat the shit out of him. And then they basically like they just beat the shit out of him so much. And then one night it was just too much, and they killed him. But it's the whole thing, and it's about like how almost every like the system failed him, and it's because like the child service like agents or whatever they call them had so many cases on their plate that they're not really taking deep dives into these cases. They're just trying to move the cases on, and they're just kind of looking at it from, skin deep and not actually getting deep into
these cases.
And then kids like Gabriel just like fall through the cracks, which should have never happened because there were reports nonstop about this kid, and there were visits, and every single person fucking missed it. It got to the point where like they even tried to like sue and criminally charge the
CPS.
Yeah, and I don't think it ended up going through.
Probably not.
But there were attempts made to like criminally charge them for like negligence.
Well, yeah, it's your job, dude.
Like, yeah, exactly. When that's your job, like at some point you need to be held responsible.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, there's only so much they can do.
It's a very fine line.
It is.
It's very tricky because like you can't just go in people's house without a warrant. And I don't know if you get warrants for that kind of stuff.
Well, I think CPS can. I think they have the ability to go in if they believe that there is need for like an emergency, like an emergency situation. Like you can be granted an emergency. I'm trying to think, like you don't have a warrant or whatever. Like if a cop comes to your house, but they like look inside your window and there's fucking
probable
shit.
Cause.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, or the phrase I'm looking for. Like they can enter your home and you're not gonna, they're not gonna get in trouble for it. So I would say that child services probably has the ability to. We think this child might be in danger. They can probably enter the home.
I remember the first case I saw. It was Marcus Feisel.
Here.
Yep, here.
Yeah, that was here.
Local. Right down the street from where I lived at the park I used to always go to. So they got lost in the woods, and a week later they just found him dead in their parents' house. Tied up in a closet with gauze in his mouth, something like that, to keep him choked up and he suffocated. Like, if you have problems with kids, just don't do that. Or don't
he was a foster kid too, wasn't he?
I think so, maybe.
I think he was a foster kid.
I was in high school when that happened, or maybe middle school.
And that's like another thing that kills me is that like you want to charge people to adopt a kid, but you will pay people to foster a kid. Right. So then the problem is that you get people who are like good people who want to adopt and they can't because they can't afford to. Mm-hmm. But then you get pieces of shit who want to get paid to foster a kid.
Right.
And not fucking care about them and treat them like shit, and they get paid for it. Yeah. And it's like you're attracting the wrong fucking people. Because, I mean, and you hear these horror stories about foster families, and that's fucking why.
Yeah.
Because you're offering to pay these people to you know, there's no incentive for them to fucking actually take care of these kids except for the money. And they're getting it anyway, whether they treat the kid like shit or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I never understood all that.
And a lot of good people don't want to foster because they're afraid that they're going to get attached to these kids and then they're not going to be able to actually adopt them afterwards. Like I know people who fostered this one kid and they adopted him now. But it was years, and they kept fighting. They tried to adopt him, and then the biological dad would step in, and he would be like, oh, well, I want him again. Mm-hmm. And so they would have to give him back to the dad, and then the dad would decide, oh, I don't want him again. And they went back and forth with this biological dad trying to get him to sign over his rights for years. But this poor kid was stuck in the middle the whole time.
Well, they should have like a child, like, hey, you can only come back 3 times and say it like you're done. You can't keep coming back into his life and leaving his life and come back to like when it's convenient for you. That's not about parent. It's not a parent is. It's not about being convenient.
It's not about when it's convenient.
Yeah,
for you.
It's gonna be a parent. Then be a parent. Don't just fucking come in and out like he's a fucking grocery store. Like, I'm here now. No, how about I see it? I'm back in. I'll buy see it because you want to go live a life. And it's sad that people do that.
It is.
Like, if you're not prepared to kid, don't have a kid. And yeah, kids are hard. They're not just fucking walk in the park. They will stress you out. They will push you to your limits.
But like that's the choice that you make when you decide you're gonna be a parent.
It's a choice you make when you decide to have fucking sex. Well, fucking get fucking loads blown. And those do people like I know it happens all the time. They're like, oh, my brother's for protection, but that doesn't always work either. And like,
right,
there's always that percentage of a chance that it can happen. Then you're like, oh shit, now what do I do?
Yeah.
So I mean,
well, and then you got the people who like are fucking anti-Planned Parenthood when they don't realize that they don't only do fucking abortions. Like if it wasn't for Planned Parenthood, there would be so many more fucking however you want to see it, like dead babies out there.
Dead. How do you want to say dead babies?
You know, however you want to say it.
So funny.
But whatever. Like I don't want to get into the whole Planned Parenthood debate.
Maybe we should. I'm sorry on the debate because I probably agree with you anyway. So.
No, I just mean like I don't want to get fucking political on this podcast.
Well, I was talking about our thoughts, and some of the thoughts are political. That's okay.
Yeah, but I'm very anti-politics, but I am pro fucking Planned Parenthood because they offer
all kinds of services, not just abortions.
So many fucking services. They offer fucking birth control. They offer all this kind of things. Which, hello, people, if they fucking offer birth control to these fucking teenagers who are going to go out and have sex anyway, they're going to have less fucking abortions.
Yeah,
like it's a fucking 1 + 1 = 2.
Oh, you can see her, dude. She's fucking fired up. She's throwing her hands down like she karate chopping the book.
Fucking and the beauty chop.
Pulling a fucking SpongeBob.
Karate.
Karate.
I don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
I guess means always pro-life people. Oh, pro-life. Like, look, if you have a kid, then you do what you want with it. But not everybody believes in Christianity and all life's sacred and all that stuff. Because all life's sacred, then you wouldn't fucking kill animals, you wouldn't fucking squash bugs or any sort of shit because all life's sacred. So you can't choose when all life's sacred when life isn't all, and when life isn't all sacred.
It's funny because a lot of like there's an interesting parallel between like all life is sacred, whatever, and you got a lot of these like Southern Christians who are like hardcore, like everyone, you know, like just in the
Bible
South.
Belt.
Yeah, like the South, and then how fucking so strict they are about the Bible this and the Bible that, and life is sacred, and you can't abort, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. But a lot of those people are also the same kind of fucking people who agree with the death penalty.
Right? Makes no sense.
It's like if all life is sacred, then where is the line between an innocent baby and a fucking murderer? Like, I'm not anti-death penalty. I'm not. But it just doesn't make any sense. You can't have one. You can't pick and choose when. You can't choose when all life is sacred.
Right.
You can't do that. That's not how it works. If you can't play God and kill a baby, kill a bundle of fucking cells that's not a goddamn baby yet, or
that's all another debate.
Yeah, whatever. But like, if you can't play God to do that, then you can't play God and decide that someone deserves the death penalty.
Yeah.
You can't have one and not the other.
Or kill people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, I said, but the fuck this guy on my porch, blah. Come on, son.
All life is sacred, but goddamn it, you step on my porch and I'm going to blast you into next week.
Dude, it is. And so,
it's amazing.
And you're like
the hypocrisy.
We're pro-life. I'm like, okay, now everybody's pro-life, dude. They're not, okay? You believe in that, that's fine. And you fucking choose. But they're like, oh, well, you should have babies even if they're raped or fucking incest. I'm like, so you're telling me if you get raped, you're going to have a baby that's not yours and take care of a baby that's not, that you don't want or plan if someone rapes you.
Honestly, if you can do that,
to you,
and you choose to do that,
I love to ask these
fucking
people.
Power to
I would love
you.
to ask those people who are fucking like these older white ladies. Pro life.
White ladies.
I'm like, so like if you got raped and got pregnant, would you keep the baby? And
Maybe.
Your husband, hey, by the way, I'm pregnant. We're keeping a baby that someone raped me.
Yeah.
Like you're not. Your husband would probably like tell you no, like we're not doing that. And then you'd be like, well, I can't abort him. I'm like, well, then give him up for adoption. I mean, people's like, oh, well, don't abort, you give him for adoption. Okay, but going through the pregnancy process is still a long fucking process and have a lot of complications with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only if you even make it.
And you develop such an attachment too.
Yeah, and some people get can get stuff after it, like some type of like conditions that stay with you forever after being pregnant.
Yeah,
and not
or even like postpartum depression.
Yeah,
God.
And not that many women like die anymore of childbirth, but it does happen still.
Yeah, it does.
Like it's not as frequent as it used to be back 200-300 years ago. But I mean, it does still happen. There can always be complications of being pregnant. So like that's a lot to go through when you are pregnant. So I mean, either you go in there for 10-15 minutes, get it, aborted, or be pregnant, and also risk that too, and also risk like, well, when I want to keep it now because I'm going attached to it.
Right.
So it's a very, I know it's a thin line in that area, but I'm pro-choice, man.
Same.
I mean, I don't think abortion should be like a form of birth control.
Agreed.
Like you shouldn't be like, oh, it's my 15th time, like fucking whip it out.
Get the punch card out.
Yeah, get the punch card. Oh, 15 is a free one. But like, I mean, you should be able to get like one or two, like a limit. Like, okay, now it's your third time. Like now you have to fucking be responsible. You have to be,
There should be some other kind of system.
Yeah, that's really hard though, because how do you have a system for it?
I don't know.
Just to pay. Oh, you're pregnant. Let's push you on the stairs.
I didn't mean like that kind of thing.
Hey, well,
like you've had the coat hanger twice, so now we got to do it.
So push on the stairs if you live. And I mean, do we get pushed on the stairs? Okay, you might die. So
fuck it.
Do. I mean some steps, not like something like 5. I mean like some fucking like concrete fucking steps, like 30 steps, and you get fucking shoved down them motherfuckers, like fucking rolling, like you're picking up speed before you smack the bottom of that shit. Jesus. No pads, nothing, no helmet. You might get a helmet. No helmet, no knee pads, no fucking like body armor and like none of that. Just fucking
fucking see ya.
Maybe some fucking like
good luck.
Some safety glasses.
And like a fucking just like one of those foam
neck pieces,
like the neck braces.
Nah, fuck, you get a helmet. That's it.
Just a foam one, like not that it doesn't actually have any support. It just makes you feel better. Yeah. It just makes them feel better right before you're about to go down. At least I've got something protecting.
And then you get it like, oh yeah, I guess it didn't work. Gonna go again. Gonna go again. It didn't work. Still there. Yeah, still there. Go again.
God, it's fucked up. Anyway. I don't know. We got the real. We got the real. Not sponsor. We went real. Like quick too.
Yeah, dude. Real shit. Fucking real talk. Word up.
You fucking screamed right into that thing.
Word up. Yeah, but we do get real, dude. It's a big kids are just not something you can be not real about, I guess. I mean, kids are fun, though, but they test your patience. And somebody's gonna smack the living fuck out of them. Just fucking be like, I'll fucking throw you out the goddamn window. But I can't because I can fucking
push you down the concrete steps.
Yeah. my daughter fell down the concrete steps.
No.
Before, not all from the top, but you ever been in my house because like there's like 2 steps and the last one's like a good one, like a good fucking step.
Fuck.
But my wife fell leaving the house when she was going to the hospital on the fucking steps.
Oh my god! Like after her fucking water broke.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Slipped on the steps.
Did she slip on the fucking
snow? Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask if she like fucking slipped on like her leakage.
That'd been hilarious.
Dude,
I wouldn't tell her that.
That's like in a cartoon, like a fucking banana peel kind of thing. Like fucking water breaks, she slips.
It was so crazy because she comes out. Because I mean, we induced it, and so she comes out. And it was like 8:30. She's like, I think she comes out and down the hallway. She's like, I think my water broke. I'm like, well, I can't help you with that one. That's not my water. So then she goes to the bathroom, comes out, walks to the bedroom, still leaking water. She's like, yeah, my water broke. I'm just leaking out water.
I'm just leaking.
Yeah, so well, sometimes it just gushes out and it's done for, but sometimes it's like just a puncture, then it just seeps out. So good luck with that. And it was right. You should talk about seeing a placenta come out. And people eat that shit.
I know, man.
That is the most. It looks like a fucking dead jellyfish. It's something like blood. It is not a good fuck. If you eat that, you need to fucking like find Jesus or something.
Y'all need Muhammad.
Y'all need Muhammad or something, bro. Because that's
y'all need Muhammad
like that
bad.
Like really bad. Like make better decisions in life.
Make better decisions. But some people, it is like a religious thing.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's a religious thing. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me. I am open to.
If you do it, tell me.
If you have eaten a placenta, or if it's a religious thing, let us know. Shoot us an email.
It's not.
Shoot us a
it's not
DM.
nice to look at. Ugh, makes me want to vomit. Yeah, it's So yeah, it's really weird. So we left and got there, and he was out, and by before midnight.
Damn.
And it's not.
Dude, that cracked me up. As soon as you texted me and you said it's time, and I was like,
time for bed.
Time for bed or baby time? Was exactly.
Like baby time. Like, oh my god.
Because it was late, and I believed it could have been bedtime. So, but yeah, I was like, wait a second, it might be baby time. I was excited. I was pumped. And then I was like, get the fuck off the phone. Get that bitch to the hospital now.
She drove herself to the hospital because I had to wait for my daughter.
Yeah.
My mom had to come to the house.
Watch her
because, I had to bring her to the hospital because of the whole
COVID thing.
COVID. So, yeah. And I went to UDF to get gas. Like, our pumps are down. Well, fuck you then. And
fucking UDF. Also, by the way, if you don't live in like the Cincinnati area, I don't know how big of a company like UDF is.
Yeah.
But I obviously know it's like a big thing here. You're fucking seriously missing out.
I'm sure other places have shops that sell ice cream too.
Yeah, but UDF is the shit.
Well, yeah,
it's their own ice cream. So it's not like it's just
United
like
Dairy Farmers. So I'm sure other places have their also ice cream too. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, but then we're missing out on their ice cream. But they're also missing out on.
I mean, they're pretty much all the same. Chocolate chip probably tastes like chocolate chip.
Nah, dude, UDF is the shit. Have you ever had their like 75 candles? It was like for their 75th anniversary. Came out a couple years ago. It's like cookies and cream and has sprinkles, and I think it has like something else in it too. It's like a mixture of a whole bunch of things. Maybe one of these days we'll offer merch out to the like 6 fans we have. That's being generous.
That's being generous.
Yeah, there's probably like four fans. We need more fans.
We do need more fans. So
spread the word,
guys. Tell us you
guys.
have kids and write stories about shit your kids have done.
Yeah, tell us about you. Your water breaking and slipping and falling on it.
It's hard. It really is.
I can't imagine. I have a hard enough time with my cats sometimes.
Cats, I can fucking scratch the surface of the iceberg.
No, but they fucking scratch all my furniture.
Yeah, they do. Well, that's why I don't have cats. I don't have cats. So I don't have cats. I like cats, but they're just fucking. Some of them are just. They claw them like.
Some of them are like bad cats. I got very, very lucky. I definitely don't have one of those like My Cat from Hell. You remember that show? There was a show on probably the Animal Planet. I don't remember. That was called My Cat from Hell. And it was just all these fucking like badly behaved cats. And it was kind of like the Dog Whisperer.
The Dog Whisperer.
But it was like for cats. Yeah, the guy was crazy.
Hey, the guy from the cat show or the guy from the Dog Whisperer?
Both. What was his name? Caesar Milan.
Caesar Milan.
I think so. Caesar Milan.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
So he had a new baby.
I have a new baby. So
he had a new baby and he's back.
I'm not a sponsor, so
new baby. He's not a sponsor.
I'm not a sponsor having kids, so
he does not sponsor.
Don't have any. Don't have any.
Unless you already have some.
Yeah. But if you don't have any, because it's not. It's better to be free sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't trade my kids for the world, but I mean, I never planned to be a parent. I wasn't like in my agenda.
Really? So like when you were a kid and you thought about your future, what was it? What did it look like?
I don't know.
Did you never really think about it?
I mean, not really, because I don't know.
What was your dream job?
Scary, I guess. You're a kid, like, I'm going to be an adult one day. I'm going to fucking work and find a job and do this and the other. It's kind of like a scary thing to think about as a kid, because, like... I
never really thought about it like that, though. I never really thought about all the bad shit about adulthood, which I think most people don't do. Most people don't think about, I'm going to get up and I'm going to have a job one day and I'm going to have to pay fucking mortgage and I'm going to have to do this. Like, kids don't think about shit like that normally. I mean, apparently, it sounds like you did.
Well, like, more like early teens.
Yeah, I still don't know that I just wanted to be an adult so bad.
Right.
Like, I wanted to be done and out.
Yeah, well, it's because you had a horrible home life compared to me, so.
So, whatever.
No offense.
It's all good.
No, I guess my dream job was to be a paleontologist.
Oh my god.
But
we both went through that phase.
Yeah, I was dinosaurs, but then you get all the realize they don't make a lot of money and they gotta.
That's actually what I originally went to school for.
Yeah, paleontology. Mm-hmm. It's nice, but like make a lot of money on it. You're doing field work all the time. And you're in fucking deserts and the jungles.
You have to be extremely lucky if you're doing that, though.
Yeah. So I'm saying a lot of people don't get those grants.
Exactly. I started my degree, which my degree is in environmental science, but when I signed up to go to school, I wanted to go into biological science, and that was going to be my base degree for going into paleontology. And then I decided to switch to environmental science, which I could still use for that. And then that was my goal. And then I started thinking about it, and I was like, the only kind of job that I'm going to get around here, it's like a fucking museum curator. And that's not a job that turns over very often. So the odds of me actually getting a real job as a paleontologist, or I wanted to go into like archaeology as well, something of the sort. And I was like, just the odds of me doing that are so slim. Like, I need to be more realistic.
Yeah.
So that's when I kind of changed my focus a lot to what I'm doing now, which is the environmental science, but focusing more on, climate change, conservation.
Stuff of that nature.
Yeah, that whole
Earth.
ordeal. The Earth. Welcome to Earth. But, so you wanted to be a paleontologist at first?
Yeah, I did. And then, I don't know. I guess I kind of just grew out of it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of dinosaur books as a kid. Like a fucking collection of them. Not they're all accurate anymore because it was like 30 years ago. And
Right.
discovered these dinosaurs got fucking feathers and shit now. They're all colorful, not all grayscaled. They're green.
They're not reptiles.
Yeah, they're all colorful and this and the other. So, which I always find that, which I was crazy to think about. So time has passed. Like, oh yeah, they all had colors now.
Dude, that's why science is so interesting to me.
Science is fake, don't you know?
Because science is just always evolving.
It is. People don't believe it. Oh well, they were wrong 20 years ago, so they could be wrong now. Like people that are flat earthers.
Oh God.
I want to get on that fucking subject because you guys just the Earth is round, y'all. Okay.
Y'all, listen up, y'all.
If you don't think the Earth is round, start where you are now. Walk east and just keep walking. You'll come back right to where you were. There's an edge.
It's gonna take a long fucking time.
Yeah, the Earth's pretty round and it's pretty diametric.
You're also gonna probably run into the ocean at some point.
Yeah, get a fucking boat.
So don't lose where you're going. Don't lose your direction. Get you a compass and start walking.
Get you a compass.
Get you a compass and start walking.
Yeah,
and then swim.
And then swim.
And then swim. And don't get eaten by a shark. Actually get eaten by a shark.
Or a Leopleurodon.
Please get eaten by a shark.
Are you getting off over there?
I love sharks.
Guys, I think she's getting
I am not.
Exasperated?
What?
Exasperated.
Use it in a sentence.
You're becoming exasperated. Isn't that like a medical term? Someone's like breathing real heavy or exasperated or...
I don't know the exact definition of exasperated. Let's find out. I will look it up right now. Exasperated.
That's how you pronounce it.
It is how you pronounce it. Intensely irritated and frustrated.
That's not what I was going for.
That's a weird laugh I just did.
Fake.
It wasn't fake. It was just weird. Anyway, what else we got to talk about?
I don't know. We still haven't gotten your stories yet. I don't know, the whole podcast, you never talk about your topics that you've now done for 2 episodes.
It's okay. That's all right. Basically, what I was going to bring up is you are not a big MCU fan, but I am. So, WandaVision has been out for the last 8 weeks, and by the time this is dropped, the final episode will be out. But at this point, as at the time that we're recording, the second to last episode was out, and it is it's amazing. It has been really, really, really good. And what's interesting about it is I feel like they are setting up, like, did you happen to see like Into the Spider-Verse?
Oh yeah.
You did see that?
I love that movie. It's a good movie.
So very good.
Great movie.
It is very, very good.
One of the better ones.
But the new Spider-Man, like the live action Spider-Man movie coming out, the third one, they just dropped the title of it, which is going to be No Way Home. But
I'm saying, was this one with Andrew Garfield or one with
this is Tom Holland.
I see. Okay. See, I've lost my way on Spider-Mans because they just keep coming out. I just don't know. Like,
well, for the last
it was Tom Holland for a while, wasn't it?
Huh?
It was Andrew Garfield for a while, right?
It was Andrew Garfield for
wasn't
that
Coming
years,
Home or Spider-Man or what?
It was The Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man
comic books
was the
Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, just like series, I guess.
Garfunkel.
Simon and Garfunkel was not in any of the Spider-Man movies, as far as I know.
What a great cameo that would be,
dude! If Simon and Garfunkel showed up in anything, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" What year is
one of them dead?
Yeah, I can't remember which one. I think we'll figure that out later. If you know, let us know because I'll probably forget to look it up.
Probs.
So
to share this is the recording.
I know.
Oh yeah.
So there have been. I do believe it has been. Andrew Garfield has been announced that he's going to be in the newest Spider-Man movie. And Kirsten Dunst, who was in the original with Tobey Maguire.
Need to bring him back.
They will not announce that he's coming back.
They need to.
But but everyone pretty much believes that he's coming back as well. And so it seems as if they're setting up the multiverse like they did with Into the Spider-Verse, which kind of ties into WandaVision, because so there are some people out there, and I subscribe to this idea that what she is creating,
I've never seen the show, so
an alternate dimension. Well, I'll explain.
Explain, please.
So Vision,
yeah,
died in Infinity War.
Did he? Never seen it. I keep telling myself I'm gonna go back and watch those, but please continue.
So long story short, Vision dies in Infinity War. She basically like fucking loses it because everyone that she has ever been close to has died, and he was the last person she had left. He's the last person she had left, and he dies, and she basically fucking loses it pretty much.
Cool. What's her name?
Wanda.
And what's her special powers?
She is
her abilities, I guess.
Her comic book name is Scarlet Witch. Nice. But they have not called her Scarlet Witch in the MCU. They've only used her real name, which is Wanda Maximoff. So, but in spoiler alert, in the episode 8, they finally called her Scarlet Witch. She has finally gotten her actual comic book name. And but she has basically, what she did was, she's in this small town, and she has created a barrier around this town, and inside the town she has control over everybody in it, and it's set up like a TV show, and it's set up like a sitcom. So like in the very first episode, it was set up like a 50s sitcom, and it was her and Vision, and he's alive, and it's them in a 50s sitcom, and then every episode changes. It goes on to the next decade, which is really cool. So then it would go to like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now like the last one definitely was like a 2000s. Like I think it was like episode 7 was like a Malcolm in the Middle kind of show. Setup. Yeah, and then anytime someone has like come in to like through this barrier, they have, I don't even know how to explain it. She has like mind control over them, and then they become part of the show, like a part of the sitcom. So they have their own character and everything. So we start off, will, kind of. Yeah, it is exactly against their will, but Vision kind of comes through, and he starts to notice that things are off and people are acting weird, and what is this? Because small things would start to happen where, say, someone would say something or do something, and it would be almost like they messed up a line or something like that, and they would like ask Wanda, like, do you want me to replay that, or do you want me to redo that? So it's kind of like the Truman Show a little bit, in a way. Yeah, like, kind of like reality, but not. Yeah. So is Wanda and Vision married in the MCU universe? They are not. Okay, but in the show they are. In the show, but they fell for each other, kind of. And yeah, they were definitely together, right? But they weren't married or anything. Okay. So in the first episode, it shows them like. But he's dead, right? So this is her creation of him. We don't really know. Okay, or is this like a before thing? It's definitely after he's dead, right, but we don't really know if this is a figment of her imagination or she created it. Right, because she's so powerful. Yeah. That now she's created this entire. Yeah, you didn't tell me what her powers were. She's just magic. Basically, okay. Like she, like a witch. Anything you can pretty much imagine, magic wise, she can do it. Nice. But so this might not be him. It might just be her creation of him. Yeah, or it could be him. Is she strong enough to bring him back to life? She's strong enough to have mind control over this entire town and have this very strong barrier that they can't get through. You know what I mean? So we just don't know what the extent of her powers are at this point. She could have brought him back, and we don't know. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to wrap up in one more episode, and I don't know how exactly they're going to do it. I believe that they can do it. I'll probably another season. No, they come out. It's a 9-episode miniseries. That's it. But all of these miniseries that they're coming out with all tie into the movies, and they're all important. Like, you have to watch them to understand what's going on in the movies, which is why I think that her doing this is creating the multiverse that we're going to see in Doctor Strange, and the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out is going to be a multiverse movie. Okay. So I believe that WandaVision is setting up the multiverse that we're going to see in Doctor Strange, and then we're going to see in Spider-Man. Right. So I think that's just like the whole direction they're going with this phase 4 or whatever in the Marvel movies. So that'll be really interesting, but I'm also really hoping that Daredevil is going to show up in the Spider-Man movie. Really, really hoping, because the end of the most recent Spider-Man movie. He wasn't in the MCU movies, was he? Who, Daredevil? Like Ragnarok or any of that crap, or like Who, Daredevil?
Avengers and shit like that. Yeah.
No, he has not been in the MCU.
And in the background.
No.
That's crazy.
Well, they weren't allowed.
Why?
Because they had a contract and the rights and stuff with Netflix, with the Netflix series.
Okay.
So once they ended the Netflix series, they had to wait like 2 years or whatever until they could get the rights back.
Oh, okay.
So they just got the rights back recently.
Mm-hmm.
And the end of the last Spider-Man movie, his identity is leaked.
Spider-Man or Matt Murdock's?
Mm-hmm. The Spider-Man's.
Oh.
So Peter Parker's identity is leaked, and he's accused of killing Mysterio.
Didn't he?
No.
Oh.
Not.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
So he's going to need a lawyer, basically. It's like the whole thing. And so at this point, there's the only 2 lawyers in the Marvel universe, which is Daredevil and She-Hulk.
Okay.
And
She-Hulk.
Yeah, Jennifer Walters is a lawyer.
Oh,
but there's going to be a She-Hulk.
Oh, She-Hulk. I said She-Hawk. Like a hawk. Like,
sorry. No.
Like Hawkman, Hawkgirl.
No.
From friggin' the DC.
Yeah, she's a lawyer as well. And there's going to be a series about her, like a Disney Plus show about her as well. So it is possible that they could be bringing her into it, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be Daredevil, and I'm
just like about the splooge everywhere, bro. Watch out.
Everybody out there.
Trying to be Mount Vesuvius in here.
Daredevil is my favorite.
I get my tarp out. Like Gallagher in here.
Has been my favorite for a very long time.
I wish they'd make more DCU stuff, but they don't. It's all Batman shit, Superman.
Well, the problem is that like they can make good.
They could.
They can make good individual movies, but the moment they try and do a team up movie, it fucking falls through.
I never watched Justice League, but
you never watched Justice League? It wasn't that good.
I'm not a big. I don't know. Team up thing is not really my thing.
I like the team ups, but I think that part of the problem is that their team ups are always going to be compared to the Marvel team ups, and they're just not as good.
Well,
However,
just like was before Marvel was,
dude. But DC has an amazing animated universe.
DC's a shit, dude. Plus, like, the big ones, Batman, Superman.
All of their
Wonder
animated
Woman,
stuff
Green
is
Lantern.
so good. And the new Harley Quinn show, the animated Harley Quinn show, is so fucking good. It's so good. I do feel like they kind of pushed some shit that I don't think needed to be pushed, but it's so funny. It's hilarious. It's so well done. They took some really obscure characters and made something out of them. I highly recommend that to anybody. But I like most of their solo movies are really good. They struggle with the... I was okay with Batman versus Superman. I didn't think it was a good movie, but it did its job as a setup movie.
Yeah.
It would have been better had Justice League been a better movie. If Justice League had been a better movie, then I could have accepted Batman versus Superman as a decent setup for a better movie. Right. But it wasn't good. So
they could easily a Martian Manhunter movie.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That's been a Flash movie.
However, I think they're making one.
Flash and the Hawkman movie. The movie was fucking ruined with freaking
Ryan Reynolds. Which is a shame. Ryan Reynolds is a good actor. I feel like that's the same thing as like the old Daredevil movie, like with Ben Affleck. Like
I liked it for what it was.
It was a bad movie. It's a bad movie. Like, but in the same thing with Green Lantern. Like, I feel like you had good actors and they did what they could with what they were given, but they just weren't given a good movie.
Right.
So you can only polish a turd so much.
His dad gets killed by somebody, and he goes to seek vengeance, and then he has a chemical spell, and he gets his eyes, he can hear shit, and then he meets Electro for it, maybe. They meet Electro. And then they fight against Kingpin and Bullseye. Hashtag Colin Farrell.
Hashtag Colin. Good acting. They did what they could. Bad movie. That's really all it comes down to. I really think that they were good, and those people got shafted. Because the movie sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the big thing lately has been the Britney Spears.
Yeah, you were talking about that earlier.
The Britney Spears documentary thing that came out. The New York Times presents, but framing Britney Spears or whatever. And I watched that today, and that was really interesting. Because like growing up, I was a Britney Spears fan, but I was a young impressionable girl. I loved Britney. I loved her music. And so did my sister. I mean, my sister was 10 years older than me, so she was definitely in the, like, teen.
And
she was in the teen phase, and that's where I got all of my love for like boy bands and shit like that. So if you haven't watched it yet, it's good. It's interesting. You should watch it. And I think it's interesting even more than just as a Britney Spears fan. Like, whether you're a fan of her or not, I think it's an interesting watch because it kind of goes into... So she has something called a conservatorship, and I did not know what that was until I started watching it. Basically, her father has control of any decision she makes in her personal life and has control of all of her money, like her financial decisions as well. So that includes like all of her like medical decisions and shit like that. Like, he has control over all of that, and of course all of her financial decisions as well. And this is something that's normally done for like old people who can't make those decisions on their own anymore, which is just why it's even crazier the fact that she has one at, I mean, how old is she? Like 30s? Like,
mid late 30s?
Probably, I would say probably closer toward late 30s, but I'm not 100% sure with that. So that's just insane to think about in general.
She's 39.
39. This came about, I think it was after her like mental breakdown in the 2000s. And at that point, I think that it was maybe a sound decision that someone had control over some of her things, because I don't think that she was in a mentally in a stable place to do so. But she's now, I mean, it's been 12, 13 years now at this point, and has really gotten her life back under control and has expressed multiple times that she doesn't want her father to be in control of her decisions anymore. And it just seems that it's not happening. Like, she has applied. I don't really know exactly what the terms were, but like has gone to the court system to try and get her father out of this role. And I do believe that they said that he stepped back from making her personal decisions for her, which is great, good for her. And then she asked for a bank to be put in charge of her financial decisions rather than her father, because she wanted a professional to do it, which I think it's good for her, because like she's admitting, maybe I'm not the best person to make the financial decisions, but I want someone professionally in charge of it rather than someone who's just gonna, because they even said this in the documentary. You think about it, she's taken them to court, so she's now paying for herself and like her lawyer, but
expensive.
All of her money is going toward her dad, and she's basically paying for his lawyer to fight back, saying that he should have fucking control over it. Which is fucking crazy to think about. Crazy. She's paying for all of it just to have her to be able to make the decision. I don't
know how she can't get out of the agreement. Like, I'm obviously like mentally stable now.
I don't understand it, but basically, what they ended up doing was her dad has not been removed from her financial conservatorship or whatever, but a bank has been added as like a co-conservator. I don't know. Apparently, it is very, very hard to change, to get out of a conservatorship.
I'm sure it is.
And there was a lawyer or somebody on there who works with this kind of thing, and she said, I've seen people file for it, I've seen people fight for it, I've never actually seen somebody win a case and get out of a conservatorship ever, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So, but what's insane about it is, and I feel like, I mean, I was very, very much a part of this, when she lost her shit back in the 2000s and shaved her head and, beat the shit out of that car with the fucking umbrella and all that. We all just talked about, wow, she's fucking crazy. She snapped. She did this. She's a fucking crazy bitch, blah, blah, blah. But the whole world was saying that. And I don't feel like that's what would happen if that happened today. Because I feel like today we are a lot more in tune with like mental health and talking about the problems that people have. And a lot of people were saying like, well, she probably was like suffering from postpartum depression at that point too, because like she had just had a kid not that long before that. And I just think that we are so much more
adept to handle stuff like that
today. So like, well, I wonder what would have happened if that would have happened today rather than 10, 15 years ago.
I mean, a lot of support for her.
And
fans and everything like that.
Crazy to think about how far we've come in the mental health stigma, and we're still not there.
It's not just her either. Like, there's a lot of young actors that get put in that kind of position.
Oh, Demi Lovato.
Don't want any of them.
How long ago was that when she fucking had a complete mental breakdown and almost like killed herself and went through rehab and all that kind of shit. And she talks about how she tried to kill herself by taking a bunch of pills and overdosing and all kinds of shit.
Just like Lindsay Lohan or, Amanda Bynes.
Well, but the point of that is that, like, those all happened 10, 15 years ago. Like, Demi Lovato just happened a few years ago. Yeah. And we still weren't okay with it just a few years ago. And it's just like, how can we've come so far, but we're still not there yet.
Right. We're not. We're
still looking at it from, like, an afterwards point of view. Like, afterwards we look at, like, Demi Lovato and we're like, hey, maybe we should look at how her mental health was. Maybe we should look at how she was fucking treated. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should look at how she can't live a normal fucking life because the paparazzi won't leave her alone or whatever it is that she was going through.
I was reading about the other day about the girl who played Matilda back in the day.
I looked just like her when I was a kid.
I know. Shame.
I know.
But
I don't know that I want to look at her
as a 10-year-old and how, every day she was going somewhere else and doing press releases and interviews and just like, you're 10, you're not prepared for that. Like, you're 10-year-old, you need to be going through that. And people just kept doing it because it was kind of like forced upon her and she thought she was doing the right thing at the time.
Right.
And she looks back at how that's hard for young women or young actresses because you're just putting that spotlight. You're not supposed to be doing that.
All child actors. Yeah, I mean, look at like your fucking Corey Feldmans and your Corey Hames and
who touches little kids and this and the other. And it's just it's a very I don't know. They put them through so much stuff to promote and do.
I couldn't imagine doing that now as a fucking almost 30 years old. Imagine doing that at 10.
I want to be out with my friends playing, not in some fucking studio. Like, not some studio, just doing scenes all day long and yelling, I have to do this, do that, or they're taking a break and come back and work this many hours. And you're all the time you're doing schoolwork for school, do schoolwork. And, like, you don't get to see your friends and hang out. And,
you don't even have friends.
Yeah, you don't have friends. So that's why, I mean, if you're like a not necessarily mainstream actor, like just doing stuff here and there. Mm-hmm. Like, TV shows probably a little better, but probably still bad, but probably a little better than doing movies and stuff. Yeah. Especially if you're a big actress.
Well, I don't know, because TV shows, it might be over a longer period of time. At least, like, if you're shooting a movie and you're like a child actor, you probably don't have all that many scenes. So you probably go and get it done in 2 weeks and then you're done. Yeah,
that'd be nice.
I guess it just depends on, what kind of movie it is, what kind of scene you have, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If you're the main character, then obviously it's going to be different. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be hard. Just like people want to talk about Macaulay Culkin. Shit he's seen as a young actor,
or like the fucking Olsen twins.
Yeah. Oh my god, they look so bad. I'm not surprised.
They do look
I'm not surprised when people go into drugs because you're just in the world drinks. You're hanging with other celebrities who are also doing drugs, and you're doing them at fucking probably 12, 13, 14 years old. Get into sexual stuff like that because
fucking River Phoenix.
Oh, what happened with him? And he dead.
Yeah.
He killed himself.
No, it was a drug overdose. Okay. It wasn't on purpose. But Joaquin Phoenix is actually the one who found him, called the 911 call.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they still have that. You can hear the 911 call on the internet. You can
not the internet.
No, on the internet. on the interwebs.
No, the net's in the inner.
I was big. I still am. I've always been a big Joaquin Phoenix fan, and
The Joker. Someone's seen that movie yet?
Oh, it's good.
It kind of goes in the mental illness we're talking about.
Yeah, it does. And I feel like that was a good representation of it. I liked the way they did that. But it's just all of these like child actors, and even you can go into like all of the people in the entertainment business who've died by the age of 27 or at the age of 27. That's the one that always kills me.
Oh, yeah, like the conspiracy. Like,
well, yeah, you've got like Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, like everyone. Let's see. I cannot remember what it's called. Like,
it's like some black. It's like a list or something. A white list or something.
Famous people who died at 27. Jim Morrison, Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Brian Jones, Robert Johnson, Jonathan Brandis, Alan Wilson, Pete Ham. I don't know some of those, but all the top like 5 or 6 are all the big ones.
Right.
The 27 Club, that's what it's called. But I rewatched the Kurt Cobain documentary, Soaked in Bleach, and that's like one of my favorite documentaries. One of these days, we can talk about Kurt Cobain on here. but I didn't prepare for that today, so we won't talk about it today. But anyway, this whole thing was about Britney Spears and mental health and how it's absolutely insane how far we've come, yet we're still not at the point that I think we need to be in, viewing mental health. It's just crazy to think about. Because we all got our own issues with mental health. Like, I've got my own issues. Like, I see a therapist, and it has helped me a fuck ton. And I still have problems. I mean, I cannot imagine what it would be like to have normal mental health issues like everyone has.
On top of being famous
and it being such a public thing, and then like you don't have your own space because you've got fucking paparazzi following you around, and everyone wants to know your fucking business.
Well, and then you have a breakdown, people call you crazy or you're disturbed, and like it's like I'm not crazy,
you lose custody of your fucking kids.
Like, I'm not okay, guys. Like I'm having a mental breakdown. Like people like we have the side that people are perfect, and people are all mentally okay the whole time. It's like no, it's not. We can't make that normal because it's not. People have shit in their minds going on, so people can't control it. Some people can't get over it. People get depressed and have anxiety, and they just do. I have fucking anxiety. I am the most anxious motherfucker all the time. I know too. I don't know how you drive. I don't know. I'm gonna crash. I don't know how I don't know how I function doing anything. Fucking drive right off a bridge. I don't know how I even function some days. It's okay. We all have our dark stuff in our head that just eats at us all day long. Yeah, but imagine if you were getting fucking judged on it 24/7. And I guess some people do. I guess say if you're like a teenager or a kid, your parents don't understand you. It's not a phase, Mom. This is who I am. Right? It's hard for them to do it because I don't know. It's weird. It is weird. Some people are open about it, some people aren't. So it depends on who it is. Yeah, true. But I love when people are really open about like their mental health, not like in detail. Like I don't need to know what's wrong with you. You know what I mean? I don't need to know all your business, whatever. But I love when, especially celebrities, are really open. Like, hey, I've got problems. I'm anxious. I'm this. I'm that. I'm just a normal fucking person. Just because you recognize me from a show, I'm still a normal fucking person. I still have all these issues. And I think like one of the best examples of this that I can think of is Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville, has a podcast, and he consistently talks about mental health and how all the struggles that he has had growing up and struggles he had as a young actor. And because I mean Smallville was huge back in the day. Like he was kind of thrown into that, and he was like, I think he said he was like 26 when he got the role, and he was like, I cannot imagine what it would have been like if I was 17 or 18 years old. Like he's like, I already struggled enough as it was as a fucking full grown adult. I can't imagine what it would be like much younger. But he is really good about anytime he interviews guests talking about mental health and some of their struggles, and just trying to show people that like just because people are famous doesn't mean that they're perfect. They don't have these perfect lives that you see. They they're just like everybody else. We've all got our own issues. We all have anxieties. We're all nervous. Like you might be nervous, but we're also nervous when we walk onto a set or whatever. We're all just normal people. And he had Stephen Amell, who, if you guys don't know, played Arrow in Arrow. So he played Oliver Queen for years at this point. I mean, Arrow is done now, but he played him for a very long time and has always been portrayed as he plays a superhero on TV, so he's portrayed like he's a fucking superhero in real life. And he actually had like a massive fucking panic attack in the middle of doing his interview with Michael Rosenbaum, and like had to leave. Happens. Like he started freaking out like while they were talking, and he was like, I gotta go. Like, I'm really sorry to do this to you right now, but I have to go. Like he was like, I'm gonna be sick. He like took a walk outside, and they like stopped recording. And then a couple weeks later, he came back and said like, I want you to air this. I want you to release this. I want to talk about it, and I want to come back, and I want to finish the episode, and I want to, I want everyone to see this, that this really happens. And, we're just normal fucking people. And he was like, I was just tired. I'm worn out. I've been stretched to my limit trying to do like, I think it was like the final season of Arrow and all this. And he was just like, it was just too much. I was overwhelmed, and I had a fucking panic attack right in the middle of an interview. Yeah.
Like, it's normal. It happens. And it, like, made a bunch of...
headway in the news.
Yeah, it did. It made a lot of headlines and shit like that. And I think it's good. I think it's good for people. Because I think everyone needs to know that these people are not.
Just people.
Yeah, they're just like everybody else. And, and it amazes me. Because they all think that they're just... Most of them. I shouldn't say all of them. Because there are some of them who do believe that they're fucking gods.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say a majority of them just do feel like they're normal people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my favorite thing is... I was watching some video last night. Or this morning. No, I can't remember. All my days are running together. About Bill Hader. And it was like one of those countdown videos of like... Oh, it was top 10 times Bill Hader was awesome. On TV and shit like that. So I was watching that, and the number one was he met Keith Morrison, and you just see his face when he walks into the room, and he just fucking fanboys so hard, and you're just like, my favorite thing is to see someone like Bill Hader, who like everyone loves Bill Hader, get excited and giddy and nervous meeting another celebrity because he just feels like, I'm just a normal guy, like this is just me, but like this guy's a god, you know what I mean? So it's just like these people believe that they're just normal people. But it was really cute. It was funny. All right, everyone, that's all we got for you tonight.
I'm just really cold.
Are you sick?
I don't think I might be getting sick.
That's not good.
It's not. Sorry if I coughed over your house.
All right, everyone. That's all we got for you tonight.
Thanks for joining us again on the Greasy Geesies podcast, featured by Slinky and PB Gauch.
That's us. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.